Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wijayanto. In this time, I will present my work on the cyber terror on academics, alliance on anti-corruption in Indonesia. Please allow me to share my screen. So as you can see there, the title of my presentation is Cyber Terror Academic Alliance on Anti-Corruption and Democratic Regression in Indonesia. So in 2019, September 2019, there was a plan from Indonesian government, the legislative and the executive, to revise the bills on the revision on the National Corruption on National Commission on Corruption and Eradication. The revision of the bills will seriously weaken the Anti-Corruption Commission. That was why there was a huge protest from the activists, from Indonesian citizens, to reject the bills. This is because the National Commission on Corruption Eradication, or what we call as KPK, is a very credible institution that people hope to be able to eradicate the massive practices of corruption by Indonesian elites in Indonesia. As you could see here, the survey from ECS, for instance, saying that Corruption Eradication Commission was trusted by 83.1% of the Indonesian public, while the House of Representatives, in another hand, also political parties, were only trusted by 45.8 and 55.4% of the Indonesian public. So the last trusted institution was planning to revise to weaken the more trusted institution. That was why there was a huge protest. And also because from 2004 until 2018, there was a huge number of corruption practices by the mayors in Indonesia. You could see the statistic there. And the protests also came from the academics who also reject the plan for the revision. Like you can see here on the news dated in 9 September, thousands of academics rejected the revision. This is one of the pictures of what happened in my own university, Diponegoro University, in which me and other friends were rejecting the revision as well. It was reported by the Kompas daily newspaper in Indonesia, Kompas.id, in 9 September 2019. However, there was then a cyber terror to the academics who rejected the revision. Here we come to the research questions of my work, which are, first of all, how did internet or social media, WhatsApp groups in this regard, empower the academic alliance on anti-corruption? Secondly, how did the cyber terror weaken the alliance? And lastly, what does this terror mean for Indonesian democracy? The method used for the research were in-depth interview with the 16 victims of cyber terror. They were all academics in social media analysis and digital ethnography. So first, I would like to explain to you the National Academic Alliance Against Corruption. So this academic alliance, they actually organized their protests by using WhatsApp. So there's a WhatsApp groups entitled a National Academic Alliance, in which the members were the coordinators of the movement in their universities. So or the representative of its universities in Indonesia. In this WhatsApp group, they write together petition, and they updated the number of lecturers, academics who signed the petition to refuse the rejection. In 9 September, for instance, it became news in Indonesian mainstream media. It says Mr. Presiden Jokowi, more than 1,000 of lecturers from Gajah Mada University to Indonesian University rejected the revision. And as you could see in the picture here, this academic alliance increased so fast. Yeah, the member included all of the universities in all of the Indonesian islands. For your information, Indonesia consisted of 17,000 islands with 5 big islands, and in each of those islands there are universities, and there were already 41 universities, 22 from 22 provinces, consisted of more than 2,500 lecturers that joined the petition in around 2 weeks. So the movement was strengthened very fast through the medium of WhatsApp groups as a social media. However, there it came cyber terror. First of all, I would like to make clear here that what I mean by cyber terror is referring to Louis 2014, which is the deliberate act or threat with illegal actions, either by a single person or in conspiracy against the integrity, confidentiality, and or availability of information and of information processing systems and networks, leading to one or more of the following consequences. First, the suffering, serious injuries or death of people. Second, serious psychological effects to people and the population. Third, serious societal disruptive economic loss. 4, serious threats of ecological safety. And 5, serious threats of the social and political stability and cohesion. And here I show you the results of my digital ethnography. I want to show you the situation after the members and the coordinator of the group were hijacked. So as you could see here, what the form of the terror was phone calls from foreign numbers to the members of the WhatsApp groups. As you could see here, the number from the UK, from the United States. It could be fake number. However, it really happened and impact the psychology of the groups. Here is the example, the portrait of the WhatsApp of the coordinator of this WhatsApp group, in which he suddenly revealed his support to the revision and sent a personal message to every member of the groups that is supporting the revision, the plan for the revision. And the fact that the coordinator of the groups were already hijacked, the WhatsApp account already hijacked, and also the lots of phone calls from foreign number has made the member of the group left the WhatsApp group. So they asked for permission. I got hacked. Please let me left the group. That's what the member said. And this is the result of the interview. Yeah. For instance, one of the informants said that I feel only the pressure I feel is being monitored like that. What kind of action are there? What kind of discourse that I share seem to stick around? A phenomenon later, said the second informant, becomes a trend, and then maybe it can develop, which I call a part of terrorism and the social media level. Terrorism in this context is doxing, and this is very terrible to me. Being humiliated in public, whether it is true or not, and after that, the destructive effect occurs. The person concerned finds it challenging to clarify and so on. So he feared that, after his account was hijacked and then it was used, for instance, to expose something humiliating that can be humiliating for him. And once it was viral, then it's almost impossible to clarify. And he really feared about it. And it also significantly disturbed the coordination, the alliance, the movement. Like the information, the interview transcript from the informant number 7, he said, during that time, it was personally constant, and some calls did interfere with my communication. I was also got disturbed as I kept getting the phone call. We did not use the phone, only WhatsApp. They were hijacked. Author added, we could not answer any call because we were afraid. We were reminded not to pick up because if we pick up, then our number could be taken over and remoted from one direction. That was scary too. And said informant 11, who happened to be one of the leader of the anti-corruption organization in Indonesia, he said it becomes a bit more difficult. For example, Thursday press conference at 9 to 12. From 9 to 12, the calls do not stop. Get on the phone, do not pick up, come back in, do not pick up, keep going. So how could you make a coordination with your friends if you're a leader of organization, if your phone was continuously called by someone else, by somebody? And in fact, in 16th September, as I explained to you before, the movement had influenced the coverage of the media. However, as the movement of the academics were weakening, yeah, and it also had less influence to the media. That was why, to some extent, I argue that it impacted, for instance, the result of the survey by Kompas Daily newspaper, one of the biggest newspaper in Indonesia, that said that based on their survey after the terror was weakened, sorry, the alliance was weakened, that most of the public turned out to be agree with the revision, 44.9%. It's it's around 5% higher than those who disagree with the revision, 39.9%. So you could see here that it really impacted the movement and then the media coverage. And it actually reminded me to the finding of the research, for instance, by FIDEM, that actually the civil society increasingly reject the attempt of a democratic regulation, but the democratic regulation itself is also worsening. One of the indicators, before we go there, sorry. In Indonesia, democratic regulation has been a trend, as pointed out by so many studies. Yeah, from Marcus Mitsner, Aspinall, yeah, Power, Aminuddin, Wiratraman, Wijayanto, myself, yeah, with lead to lots of many kinds of term: effective democracy, regression, setbacks, decline, backsliding, illiberal democracy, neo-authoritarianism, authoritarian innovation, authoritarian practices. And one of the main indicators of the regression was actually the erosion of civil liberties. Like the survey from the Economics Intelligence Unit in 2019, for instance, it says that Indonesia score of civil liberties is 5.59, which is not good, yeah, not a happy news. And it remains the same in 2020, in which the score is more or less the same, 5.59. The survey from the LP3ES, the institution in which I work as well, it revealed that actually when the respondent asked whether or not they agree that the citizens now scared of expressing their opinions, to unite and to make an organization to express themselves, more than 35% agree, and more than 16% strongly agree. So you can see here then more than 50% of the Indonesian public, they feel the fear to express themselves. So the terror has the democratic regulation in Indonesia becomes worse. So the conclusion of my presentation would be, first of all, social media in this regard, WhatsApp groups had become a medium for the movement against the weakening of the anti-corruption body by revising the law in the case of the Anti-Corruption Academic Alliance to initiate and enlarge the alliance very quickly across islands, across the universities as well. However, the cyber terror that befell them significantly weakened the anti-corruption movement by academics in Indonesia. It had a psychological impact, disrupted coordination, and reduced the influence of the movement. And this finding strengthens the findings of other scholars about the blurry portrait of democratic situation in Indonesia, which continues to decline along with the narrowing of civil liberties and the increasingly limited space for pro-democracy activists. I will end my presentation here. Thank you so much for your attention.